Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
All right, welcome in. So we got some exciting stuff going on tonight. Woohoo! Right, Cash is on it. We have this guy here, and he is now an author. We're gonna dive into all that. There was no corners cut. This guy killed it. And whenever we talk about Montauk and anything we've done in Montauk, right, we include Danielle, which is included in the book, obviously, and also we include Darkhour Paranormal. And he was able to make it with us tonight. So stoked about that. So I'm going to bring them up very, very shortly. Let's do roll call. There's Brian there. Chiro, hello. Good to see you. Welcome in, Jane. Hello. Good to see you. She is excited and looking forward to getting her masterpiece. Heidi, welcome. We're going to look forward to getting Heidi on soon. Jojo, welcome in. There you are. Hello, governor. All right, so look, that looks like that's roll call for now. There's more of you hanging out back there, but I'm not gonna. Oh, Friends with Monsters, what's up, brother? Good to see you. I'm not gonna sit up here and jaw jack, and you guys see enough of me, so I'm gonna bring them up. You guys ready? Good to go. Thumbs up. Yeah. Okay. Welcome in, gentlemen. Welcome in.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for having us.
See you. So Jane had a nice comment here. She is. Oh, Roger. Hello, brother. Good to see you. I'm so sorry. See you. Great intro. Thank you. I'm working on some things here. I'm no, whatever master. No, it's no secret. I'm no whiz kid with the with the tech stuff, but I'm doing my best here.
Doing good, man.
So
much better.
Thanks. All right. So Midwest Night Watch, what's happening? Woo Rider.
So, woo.
Welcome in. DHP. Hey. So oh, that's Derek. Derek, what's up, buddy?
What's up, brother?
Okay, so Brian.
Yes, sir.
How are you, bro? So,
good, man. Thank you.
Let's dive into this a little bit.
Yeah, this is like the first I've talked to people in like 2 months, because of this.
I'm gonna physically show them what you've been working on so they can kind of get an idea of it. Okay.
Sweet. Thanks.
This thing is
nice.
I mean, this
still glossy.
Yeah. Massive. It's 400 plus pages. It's huge. I mean,
look at all of that pictorial evidence in there too. Everything that supports, what Brian's talking about in the book. He provides photographs for, or some sort of pictorial support. Now, that being said, I just wanted to say very quickly, one of the most interesting things about this book, and believe me, there are a plethora of notes to mention here, is that there are proprietary pictures in here that Brian has brought forward that nobody else has. And the reason Brian has them is because he was there during that time period, whatever it was, documenting and bringing that into his archives.
Yeah,
excellent.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah.
There were others there, and I thought they were all doing the same thing as us, recording and taking pictures.
Well, what the thing is, bro, here's the thing, right? When you go through a, I've never written a book, I've never done this, but when you go through a publishing company, they want you to cut this out and cut that out, and don't do this and don't do that. You don't need that. You don't need this. This will be more cost effective. Blah blah blah. The fact that you said, you know what, I don't want to leave anything out. I want to just go the long and the hard route, and I respect the hell out of you for that, like big time.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, some of the, even with the people who let me do like the full on do your own thing publishing, like, you know, you pay and they print, but they didn't quite understand the documents at first, so I had to explain it to them. But they wanted to like have somebody retype all of the old documents, and they're like, you know, clean it up and make it look nice. And I said, I need them to be, you know, exactly the way they look. Like I want them to look like they are, like, you know, photocopied. Or I said these are like one of a kinds and nobody else has them, so they are what they are, you know. And that's what people want to see. They don't want like some retyped version of it. So once they understood that, then they worked with me, and they went overboard on the ebook to link. It also has 9 tables of contents, this book. So it's like, I don't think they ever heard of that. They were like, "What? Why are there so many?" I explained each section has like its own breakdown. So they went ahead and linked everything in the ebook. I was surprised because they charge extra for that. But they must have liked the idea because they just did it all. So it's like, cool, thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah. Somebody asked about getting a autographed version. I don't know how that would work, but
absolutely. Yeah, well, I have only a few copies, obviously, but I'm going to get more. And then I'm going to do that and just put them up where I can sell them, because I can attach a web store to the channel now that it's monetized, or, you know, they allow me to link in a store. So I have a sticker made, and I could have a signed copy of the book, and it'll show up under the channel. And, you know, I'm not going to charge any more than, you know, the store sells them. And I'll use it to reprint. That's my main goal, is to try to get another version in color, you know, with some page numbers maybe, because I found out at the end, and it was blowing the whole layout out of context when I put in a single page number. I did it so many times, and I just said, you know, forget this. I'm going to do it on the next run, because if you don't know in the beginning, you kind of have to start over. So I was like, after it was all done, I just wanted to press the button. So I said, I'll just come to that later. You know, I had to cut stuff out. So I'm happy with it though, and I'm happy that it's actually done. I still kind of shocked, like I'm still kind of like, it's a surreal thing.
it is. It is surreal. You know what I mean? Like same thing goes for like the documentary, right? DHP. Like I mean, how many years went into that, and how much time and back and forth, right? And like sometimes you overthink things, sometimes you know, but like there's no, it was both of those things were done perfectly the right way, right? Because your heart was always in it, you know what I mean? And that's like that. I don't know, like I've been around Montauk my whole life. Literally, I went there every single year with my mother, and I had no idea about any of the other stuff. And then, you know, you guys have showed me this whole, you know, spun this whole other world in front of me, and it's been really, really amazing and a lot of fun for me. It's really, you know, it's really cool. So
that's how I started too, not knowing, you know, going out there, the same as you know, going with the family and just,
you did a little different. You got to understand, like I was going yearly and going to, you know, I was getting on a boat at Gossman's Dock, whale watching all around Camp Hero and all this stuff. You know what I mean? I was going to the lighthouse and walking to the top and overlooking Camp Hero, driving past Camp Hero over and over and over without ever knowing it was there. Because to me, it was just another Shadmore, another Hither Hills, another. That's all I thought it was just another sign for another trail. That's it. That's all I ever thought it was. So
me too.
It never.
Those first few years, same as you. I would go there. We would, you know, hang out in the Montauk Lighthouse parking lot, tailgate, and cook and barbecue, play around there. I knew there's some old World War II stuff, but that's it. I never saw the radar ever.
You guys even went and found something even cooler too. You went and found that little tiny house, that little hobbit house. I didn't go with you guys.
Oh, Andy Warhol.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yeah.
But you got to imagine that house was probably, imagine that little tiny spot out there before all that brush was built up and the lighthouse was there and that parking lot was in the way. Imagine that view he had, like out, you know, just amazing. You know, writing or painting, whatever the guy did. I don't even know what I don't know who he is. Andy Warhol's a painter, I believe. Right?
Yeah,
so like,
He was in those mansions, and that little shed they painted in like a guerrilla style, like graffiti style. They kind of snuck in at night and painted the walls in there. But it was Andy Warhol doing it. And the Rolling Stones were around. I don't know when he did that adventure, but I saw pictures of the interior, the paintings inside, on an old website online, and that's no longer, that site's gone. So I can't even find the pictures I took because it's like computers ago. I've been digging, but never found it.
It's crazy. It's not listed anywhere. I've looked.
Yeah.
It's nowhere to be found.
Some kind of local secret. Somebody out there.
Well, that's just the thing I was going to say a minute ago, was like how I was passing by over and over again. And like, it's amazing how, and it's probably not just Long Island, but I mean, Long Island has all these like kept secrets, like right under our noses that we just don't know about. Like, how can you have like this high population of people and do all these things right under our nose? Maybe it's just that.
Yeah. Maybe
that's just the trick. Put it right, right in the more obvious is less obvious, you know what I mean, type of scenario, like let's put it in this beautiful little town where everyone flocks to, and you know what I mean. And I think that vortex of good and evil is what brings people out there, you know what I mean. Because I had always had a love for it, like, and I still do. Like, I'm still drawn to it all of the time. I'm like, oh, I just want to get there. Like, I just want to get there. I don't know what I want to do there. I just want to get there. You know what I mean?
Yep. Meet me in Montauk. The famous saying from. But you're right. It's hidden in plain sight, and that's like they always talk about, like the sleepy fishing village. That's how they built all those bunkers to look like. The most famous one that we climbed in the basement of, on right by the radar, that little house, that's a bunker. There's a perfect example of hiding in plain sight. Like that's the old, it's concrete walls. It looks like a house, but so they did a lot of stuff like that. And that's funny when you talk about the underground, they're like, basically they have a history of hiding things. So why all of a sudden are they trying to act like there would be like no hiding this basic tunnels,
Even recently, I don't know if I spoke to you about it yet, but I recently reached out to Brookhaven Labs and and the Tesla Museum.
Yeah, that's
Tesla wants me to have a guide and pay. So they're willing to let me go in, but I have to be guided and pay, which is something they do apparently, right? But like
when I was there,
they do it. No big deal. Brookhaven, they not having it no more. They'll do like school trips and shit, but you have to have like they're just not having it. They're like, do you know who you're calling? Like who's getting the rudest people? I'm like, well, who do I speak to if I want to do like a tour? They're like, do you not understand who you're talking to? Like, you don't come in here. Like, like this is not that type of thing. And I was like, all right. Like, I was getting the nastiest people ever. It was like the DMV on
it's
steroids.
Top security. It's, there's a summer intern position. There's a summer intern you can do. That's my sister once did that, and that's how I was able to go drop her off and pick her up for work, basically.
Well, that's kind of cool.
One time I just drove around in between and waited for her, which was like 4 hours. So I literally drove up and down like everything I could in that time. But she took a wrong elevator down an extra floor and had M16s, pointed in her direction. And
that's
I know other people that change out copy machines. Same thing. It's
my uncle, my mother's brother, delivered for FedEx for a while.
Yeah,
Fort Upton, right?
Yep.
Brookhaven Labs, Fort Upton.
Yep.
People don't realize that's what it is. Look it up. Look up Fort Upton, right, on Google Maps, and look at it from above, and you will see the design of that place. When you look at it from above, you see it's built to go down. I mean, it goes down. You can see you could see it.
The particle accelerator ring. You can see some space.
Yeah. What do we need that thing for anyway? Like atom
smashing.
separator.
It works with CERN. And they make new universes, new big bangs all the time. They just collide atoms.
What's it here for? Yeah.
Potential black holes, they said, when they first did it in 2012. A lot of people think that's what the Mandela effect is. Like after BNL first started colliding making new universes.
Yeah.
But that's just a big, thing. But they do crazy stuff like that all day. And the other ring is the National Synchrotron Light Source is this big UV infrared. the most powerful focused beam of UV and infrared. It's basically a particle weapon, like a cannon, a light cannon. But it's not used as a weapon, but it could be. And if you shoot that strength beam at anything, it would be not good.
I mean, police use it, right? They
use the LRAD and stuff
as
like
soon
that.
as they pull you over, they have a huge bright spotlight, and it's meant to you know, like
you're right. It's a directed energy of light.
Yes, it's meant to like set you off. It's like, you know, off balance, so you can't like you can't see where they are. You can't, you know, perform an attack on them, whatever, you know what I mean? Disorient, that's the word for you. And that's on a small scale, right?
Yeah.
You know, a very, very small scale. So imagine,
you're right. That's a good
imagine
point.
Something violently.
Actually, you're right. They said, like, when I was reading about that, they said the first one was this mirror of Archimedes in Rome. And that's kind of like what you're saying with the spotlight. I mean, it was something just focusing any kind of energy in a beam, basically, is how it started. But yeah, as far as the Tesla place, you can volunteer at Tesla Science Center, and that's how I was able to go do it, like walk around the entire place. I learned about the big tunnels they excavated and helped clean it up. Mainly, I just got poison ivy there. But I think you can still volunteer on Sundays to get into the Tesla place and kind of get a tour that way. But you actually have to work for it. But yeah, I guess they charge now for tours. I didn't know that. I got some old pics and stuff. I put them up once, but I haven't been there since they had the fire, you know. So hopefully they're probably doing
Are they still in one way or another together, organized after that event? I mean, I wouldn't imagine they'd use the same building, but I don't know how damaged it was.
It's repairable, they said. It's a lot of brick. The brick building was burned out, but yeah, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of other buildings there too. There's like 12 buildings there. So
well, it was odd. Are you talking about the one at the Tesla Museum?
Yeah, the Tesla Museum.
Yeah, because it was odd to me how there's something happened where the statue of up in it was some big statue or something to that effect up north
near Niagara Falls, the statue of Tesla.
Yeah, it caught on fire the same day, same time.
That car flew through the air, like right near that bridge somewhere.
Yeah,
yeah, I remember that. That was the same day. Yep.
Yeah.
And
I think Elon kind of took it as some kind of a threat because his response was pretty weird. He was like, "Oh, you're gonna do this to me? I'm gonna build the biggest tower in the world on Long Island, New York." You know what I mean? That was his response. So he was like, his response was a get back, response, which made me. That's what really opened my mind. I was like, you know what I mean? It's hard to build above a 2-story building in Suffolk County. So forget about like
the
tower,
tallest in the world.
So
when I first started volunteering there, actually, they got him. Some comic. It's like a geek comic, The Onion, I think it was called, and they got him to donate. They got Elon Musk to donate $1 million to the Tesla Science Center, that museum. When that was like in the cleanup stages, and I remember they got him by pressuring him in public, and he's like, sure, at that point. But
he ought to. I mean, he's got the name, for God's sake.
Yeah, so maybe when he said that about building the tallest tower, maybe he took it a little more personal too, because he donated. Who knows? But that's cool. Anybody that brings attention to it, that's, I guess, always helpful, they say. Any publicity is good publicity. I don't even think that really is the case most of the time, but
it depends. Depends how you look at it. If you're trying to just have your name noticed, period, then I guess so. Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah.
But
look at all the polarized social media influencers who don't do anything of value, and we all know it. Even when we're watching that content, some of us, and that's what they're known for doing, and that's their claim to fame. And it may not be anything important or life-changing, and sure enough, people still give them those views. So
how many times have you said, like, how have you done something, or like, I'll speak for myself, I'm out there and I'm like, wow, this is amazing, like, I'm so happy, like, can't wait to go share this, and like I put it out there and it's like it just happens to be it didn't get much of a response. And then I'll put out another one where it's like, just like, like I'm just out there, a walk and a talk, and it's like, everybody's there that day, and I'm like, shit, man, like, well,
it's hard to place.
Well, again, and it depends how you do it. Like for me, I just put out so much stuff. Like I put out everything, so it's kind of like certain things will get lost in the mix. But anyway, let me catch up on some people, guys. We've been just jaw-jacking quite a bit. We're a little excited here. Jessica Jones, good to see you. Primal Cry, hello. Val, Forest Friend, Mogs, welcome in. Val, Gerald, Sharon, Mark D, Prospecting, hello. Millie, hello. Angel, Sharon, Castle Dude, what's up? Yes, great live. That was great. Jane, Mikey Red Creek, what's up? So let me go back a little more because I know there was more of you, and I don't want anyone to feel like they were skipped over. Shit, I don't know. I'm trying. Okay, we'll go back to the bottom, and I'm trying to, like, if you see me click on your name and do a little salute, that's me saying hi to you. Okay, if we're going and go, if we're on a roll. So, anyway, all right. I do want to show one thing, if you guys are cool with it. I believe this was the first year that we went out. Right? Danielle was there. You were there. We were all there. I think it was the first year that we went as a group.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you know me. I always end up somewhere else, right? Like more often than not, you guys are like,
where's Mike?
Yeah, where the hell is
That's true.
I'm out in the woods, like, I'm over here. I'll be right back. But anyway, on this particular time, I had fell back, and I was like, let me see if I can kind of like see anything around them, whatever. And I was just like snapping photos. And this isn't what I was expecting, but I'll show you what I mean. It's gonna go by. Scotty B, good to see you, bro. It's gonna go. It's gonna go pretty quick. So I might run it through twice. Shit, hang on. I'm not good at this, so bear with me. There we go. All right, so you'll see it up here. Oh, let me get that thing off of there. So I'll run it by one more time. It's up in the sky. It's up to our right, up in the sky. And I mean, it could be anything, right? I don't know what it is, but
Cool.
But it's interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
Again, this is a location that has had this type of activity before. That's what makes it so much more significant.
Yeah.
And we didn't
Add that
see
to the
it.
pile.
Yeah, we didn't see it. We didn't notice it. Could it have been just a plane way off in the distance? Maybe. I don't know.
I got several now. That's kind of like too many coincidences.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and gas it up more than it needs to be. But
yeah. So I wrote down every in the book, every mention of a UFO report starting as far back as I can, and just wrote them all and made sure I listed every one of them in there. So it's got a long history of the area. So I mean, it's not impossible that some of the ones we saw are something
Certainly
kind of known for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, according to Preston Nichols, they used to land on the property all the time. I mean, we can't necessarily verify that. I think a lot of times people have called those landing pads that were there what
those are the
radar now, but they were another part of the Sage radar system. Before
the Sage, even those, you're right, they're radar towers, basically the metal ones, the round metal. But doesn't stop UFO from landing on one, I suppose, if that were the case. But obviously, it seems like a far out thing to say for sure. And that was one of the things I did touch on. It's like how some of the things are far out there, but then you see something in history that kind of lines up, and you're like, how did he know that? When he wrote the book, being that's a far out statement. So it's a push and pull kind of thing. The whole story and what you find digging in. So that's what makes it fun too.
That's awesome, Jane.
Jane.
Her daughter videoed a UFO recently while standing in the backyard, and Really
Nice.
hot, big hot spot. That's my hometown. I still go back there like all the time as much as I can. There's so many great areas over in Smithtown, and like it's loaded with history, and
Yeah.
the I do as much as I can along the Nessequag River and like different things like that, and um, it really that sense of home always like gives you a certain edge, right? Like because it puts you in a certain frame of mind and a certain space, and like and it brings your heart to a certain location that you can't just bring it to randomly, right?
Yeah.
Like they
Very
always
true.
say, like home is where the heart is, right? I guess or whatever.
Mhm.
It's a hot spot, maybe underwater base off the coast. Yeah, I'm a firm,
Definitely.
I'm a firm believer in USOs being, like
Yes.
UFOs or USOs for the most part. Like
Yes.
underwater is, I think they want us to look up more than they want us to look down there. I mean, there's no reason why we can go to Mars, but we can't go down and look under the water. There's no reason.
Mhm.
Again,
Mhm.
look at any submersible. Look at any submersible. It's a freaking spaceship. Like it's a spaceship. A
That's right.
submarine is a
Yeah.
spaceship in essence, right? And the deeper
Yeah.
they
It's a
go,
vessel for another
start to take less
environment.
people. They got more gadgets and this and that, right? It's a freaking spaceship. Like, I mean,
It's for all practical purposes. Yeah, you're going into a place you can't normally survive in a vehicle.
shit. Yeah.
But you're right, because this is a
Yeah.
place off the coast in Montauk I just found before. I printed that book and I threw it in there, but it looks like in some kind of looks like a city on the ocean floor. It's really strange. But USOs have been reported out there too, which I didn't get to include them all. But fishermen's always report these USOs out at Montauk, green lights and stuff like that. So I just touched on a lot of these things, and there's a lot more to them. But I figured the top of every iceberg.
Well, back
Kind of thing.
back to the main point is your book here, right? That's what we're here for. And like I'm not gonna be the one to probably promote it the best, right? Because I'm just like
No,
special.
man, this is great. Thank
But
you. I mean,
like it's
I appreciate this. I mean, this is the first I've really talked about it. And
it's amazing. It's amazing. Like
thanks,
I
man.
don't
I
I'm not
appreciate
a book person. For anyone who knows this fun fact about me,
it.
I've never read a book. All right? I've never
I'm
read a
honored that it's part of your first part,
yeah,
dive
I've
into
never read a
reading
book.
something.
So I plan on touching every page of this book. And you know, like
Very cool.
Junior, I didn't even know Junior was in here. Like
Oh yeah, yep.
I'm
Yeah.
super stoked about that. I didn't even know that was in there.
Yeah, I forgot the rare one in there. Gave it credit, but that's from a book. The other one.
Yeah, of course, bro. But I mean, that's what I mean. You did. Oh God, there's nothing. No corners were cut. That I love. This is in here.
Oh yeah,
I love this. Like I use this all the time with the different, the different tribes. Like
yeah.
I have that one. I would love
Oh,
to get.
that's cool.
It doesn't have the tribes on it, but this is the 13 original tribes. And here's a really important part, right? I'm gonna read something verbatim. The first page of this book is, the title, and then the next one is to Danielle, and I think
Sweet.
that's amazing, bro. And I'm not, I
Thank you, man.
won't read it like, maybe I was gonna, but maybe I
You
should.
can, man.
I think that's awesome that you did that. Like I
Yeah.
really do,
Thanks, man.
because she was by you
Yeah,
through
and
all of it.
The whole time, yeah.
and indirectly immersing. I think I said because that part's like a
Well,
captive
it's
prisoner to my.
yeah. All right, I'm gonna read it. It's
The other
really
part is
well.
voluntary.
It's really well written. Like.
Oh, thanks, man.
To Danielle, who sat beside me for the entirety of my work and has absorbed many of the details and nuances of this subject through osmosis, indirect immersion, and many voluntary visits to Montauk. I could not have kept it all together without you. Like that shit
Thanks,
is
man.
touching, man.
Oh,
Simple and
that's-
sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I whenever I get stuck or something, or like just in general, some kind of freaking out or whatever it may be. You know, she keeps me calm, but also she has learned a lot. I mean, she probably knows like a good chunk of the stuff that like she'll finish these things and half the time you think she's just reading, you know, not paying attention, but she's picking up on these details. So it's pretty impressive in that sense. And plus, you know, we go out there and she'll romp around, climb into anything and have great conversations with paranormal things that I can't even, she's good with a lot of that stuff. So thank you, man. That's nice that you wrote that.
It's always
I wanted to mention
like
something.
her, like she's super supportive of everything, and like I love that I can bounce like everything off of her. Like it makes a difference. It really
it's welcome.
It makes a difference, bro. It really does. Like
very cool.
You know,
let me mention something very quickly about this book. So, all right, it's a huge book. It's chock full of information. But why are we focusing on this in the sense that this might be something different? Well, it's because it is. Yeah. It's not just a rehashing of, you know, some of the original stories and maybe bits of detail thrown in there to pepper it to make it something more sellable, make it more original in terms of that conveyance. This is, of course, as we've mentioned already in certain forums, 36 years of documentation and exploration. And yes, Brian does go over some of those original stories because he provides the context within doing so. And, you know, of course, you're going to find these different links between what some people have considered folklore around the Montauk Project or Montauk itself, being corroborated with actual evidence that Brian has come up with. So I'm not even going to say that I'm going on a limb because I am absolutely 100% convicted. This is going forward to be the Montauk Project Bible. Okay. And again, we're talking about Montauk itself, and that obviously lends in terms of the demography and so forth. But this is the end. Okay. The quite literal end. And I'm making that reference, of course, for those of you who know Montauk to be the end. And of course, you know, that's mentioned in the book as well. But that's why this is such an important body of work, and not just, you know, a book that our great friend Brian has put out, you know, and spent time on, and that's why we're promoting it. Yes, we're doing that as well. But I can't stress enough how much information is in this fucking book, dude. And I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again for those of you who are in the world of ufology or follow any of those, you know, bigger names. Brian Minnick is the Michael Schratt of the Montauk Project. And I mean, the guy has got so much information. And I remember, you know, talking late nights with you, Brian, and you pouring over, you know, so many different things. And Mike, you were mentioning sort of the creative process earlier within the documentaries and, you know, the authorship. And it's a wild ride. I mean, in collecting all this information to compile it into something that's comprehensive and intelligible is not an easy task to do. And of course, you know, with the documentary, it's the same thing. I'm filming as I'm going. I have a loose idea of what I want to do, but things always change. And I know for a fact that while Brian was putting this together, he was making many different right turns, you know, right angle turns, so to speak, and bringing it to a whole. And that's, again, what you're going to find with this book. I honestly cannot say enough fantastic things about this read.
Wow, man. Thank you. If I could like put that into text, I've used that for a forward right there. No, thank you.
You asked me already, so let me know on your future prints, buddy.
That was my idea for like for a real, like a second edition of this with page numbers and color with your forward and like 5 appendixes of some stuff I wanted to print.
There's top secret documents in it. Like there's all sorts of stuff. There's blueprints. The deed that I always talk about,
yes,
that's in there. Like, I mean, I'm a picture guy. Yeah, like I'm a picture guy. Like, so I haven't even gotten into a lot of the words yet.
Yeah,
I'm still looking at the pictures.
But just go to the channel. Yeah, thank you, man. That's what I do when I first get a book, always, or sometimes I even buy them for like the extensive gallery. I'm gonna read it, but yeah, we talked. It's the first thing I look at when I get it, though. I go through, look at the photos, and then I start digging in.
But like you said, you were like, you know, like there's some like a publishing company probably would have been pissed about this page.
Yeah, the black.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, dude. I thought the exact same thing.
But you didn't skip. You didn't skip. Yeah, you put it in there anyway. Look at all that ink. That costs them money. Like you know what I mean? Like, so like,
yeah, they didn't want to print. Probably they didn't want to print that one, but that's funny. Yeah, I know. I don't know. I like the look, and that's like the cover. So I figure print the covers to those documents because one's a folder, and there's some other cool ones, but there's always room for more later. The one I
That
really
gives it
wanted to
authenticity doing it that way.
Yeah. Yes.
You
definitely.
feel like you're holding the actual document in your hand and you're seeing this unadulterated.
Right.
So you know you're into something in the next page.
Raymond,
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Good
right,
point.
Raymond.
Thanks, Raymond.
When I tell you guys this book has something for everything, and
boy.
it's gonna be something, so it's what you wanted is for people to be able to just pull it off the shelf and source something.
Yes.
Like if they have a question about it, right? Like, you want to answer that? I'll let you answer.
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, nothing that I know of. I was there from I have all these family members and friends that are tied to it and everything, but nothing. I have no time that is unaccounted for. Just a few strange dreams and stuff, and an obsession with the topic. Maybe I felt like this is a mission, maybe a mission complete. Maybe I'd like to just relax now when I go there and feel my way around like I used to, have fun.
Yeah.
Because I was very, trying to be very. I don't know exactly, but thorough, I guess, is the easiest word to say about it.
Yeah. I mean, so the
Good
people
question,
I
though.
grew up with in Smithtown,
Based on the topic.
I'll tell you like this, right? They used to go to Kings Park Psych Center. And that was our thing. Everybody would go in there and go in and just, dude, that was like the abandoned place, right? That everyone went to. And you were having an affinity for Camp Hero for the abandoned, the history.
Yep.
Even the manor, you have manor in there too. Like the manor's got history and all that and stuff. And Montauk is your, bread and butter. Like I say it all the time. It's not me being oh, your buddy. Nobody has more knowledge about the place than you do. Nobody. And maybe people were there in the past and they were Montauk boys, or right. And I'm not trying to minimize that by any means. But when it comes to the place, the physical place, nobody knows more about it than you do. The ins, the outs, maybe Joe, because but
he worked there for 20 years. Yeah.
He doesn't want to be involved, right? As far as right now, the here and now, you're that person, and that's it going forward.
I hope what I made in this book can actually help anybody just dig in just as much. That's my goal, because I can't do it forever, and all I wanted to do is pass it along. I went there all these years, I got all this stuff, I can't just hang on to it, right? It's like a responsibility at this point. So now that I packaged up something, at least I can feel relieved that somebody out there will pick up on whatever, maybe just one little subtopic of it and go to town, because all of these things can be explored in a much deeper sense for a very long time. So
it's impressive.
Who knows how long the base will stay the way it is.
This shit is impressive. I've been saying this since the minute that we sat down at that picnic bench and you interviewed him. Remember that? We were at the campgrounds and he had a bunch of papers.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, dude, and he just started pulling shit out and talking about it. And I was just like, I was like, whoa. I'm like,
that was one of the starts of
print that. I'm like, he's like, well, I could. I'm like, print that.
Yeah, yep. I had to study how to print them legally and, through education and really just making sure you cite your sources is the most important thing.
Of course.
And I had to find out a lot of government documents you're allowed to print. You can't print works of art, copyright. So there was all these things to learn between Fair Use Act, copyright, and sourcing. I used MLA, it's some kind of college format, but they said that that's acceptable for some of these things. So whatever I had to do to get these things printed, I found out what it was and did. So now that that's over,
Double D, welcome relieved. In. Seekers, welcome in. Equator 7, welcome in. Salute
Equator.
Heidi,
everybody that I missed.
How long did it take to write?
Oh, good. Yeah, that's a good question. Because the chapters I wrote in 2.5 months, maybe at the most, maybe just over 2 months. But it was literally 16-hour days. I wasn't getting out of the chair. I wasn't drinking even fluids like I should have been. I was just going crazy with typing. It's almost kind of surreal thinking back. But that part was just solid writing, and I had planned to not do anything else, get everything I need, and just stay in and do it. But like the trips to the base, I started writing back as soon as we went in the 90s. I had these little forms I photocopied and would like write the direction of the radar and like how many people were there, what we did. So then I wrote those up over the years, kind of really messed up. I just edited them all and cleaned them up for this book. And then also the same thing with like their interviews from locals. As I got them, I kind of did them. And then the history report, it took like 4 years or a couple of years after I did like research for a TV show that wanted me to do that. I took all that stuff and I started taking it, going crazy with it until I finished it. But I won't be doing any more with that. I think that's like a done thing. So basically, I'd say part of the book that's like a regular book chapters took like 2.5 months of solid writing. It's basically. Thank you for asking that.
Yeah.
And a lifetime to research. I mean, the amount of work that you put into this, and again, made it in an organized fashion where there's a flow here. I mean, with that kind of information, it I would imagine be very difficult to find some sort of continuity in that sense. But within this 7 to 10 pound book, it's all here. Listen, when you sent this to me and I saw this out on the front porch, I picked it up and I couldn't believe the weight of this thing. I said, "What do you throw a couple bricks in here? I don't know what happened."
Yep.
That's what I'm saying.
I had it resting on my leg, and I'm like, I
don't
feel
think
it. It's like
people realize it's heavy. And I mean, if they taught about this in schools, like this could be the textbook. You know what I mean? This could be the textbook if they talked about it in schools. It's not your typical. Peter Moon has books, right, about stories, and they're fiction meets whatever. I don't really know. Again, I've never read them, so I'm not going to talk about them like I do. But I believe they're more like stories, right? And maybe inside the mind of Preston to some extent, and things to that effect. Oh shit, my brother, what's up? Savage.
Nice.
Savage.
Very nice.
I love this guy. I'll Commander. Awesome. I'll see you soon, bro. What a absolute legend. If you guys don't know who that is, go check him out. He's awesome.
Cool.
Cash, good to see you. I don't know if I gave you a shout out before too, Cash.
Hi, Cashew.
Yeah.
Always good to see you, Cashew.
Yes, absolutely heavy with knowledge. I didn't see you sneak in, brother. Good to see you. Didn't see you. Raymond, it's great to see you here too, by the way, brother. And look, a lot of people are looking forward to this. And like, bro, I mean, real talk. I mean, you could have charged out the ass for this book. I mean, you could have charged out the ass for it. I respect the price tag that's put on there.
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't thinking 34, but then when I felt it, they say that the size and the paper, the amount of pages, usually that's just like almost a standard price for like a textbook, or school textbook.
It's gloss. It's glossy paper too, though.
Yeah. I love the way the print is like raised up. Almost you could feel like, I don't know if you can see it on there, but it's definitely like, I was impressed. I was happy with the quality. I paid extra for it, so I didn't expect it to be so high quality though. I was impressed with the photos and everything.
It's mint.
I
don't gas shit up like this for no reason. You know what I mean?
No, thank you.
I'm not that
definitely appreciate
person.
it.
Oh, it's a historical moment right here with the release of this.
It really is. Like, I've been excited. I've been excited for. I'm so sorry, I'm talking over you, bro.
No,
I've been excited for this for you, and just like I was excited for his documentary.
Yeah.
Like I was like I can't even tell you. And Brian, you were the same way. Like when that thing was premiering, like we were like in that chat, like little kids.
Yeah.
Like blah, 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 blah.
Yes, we
like,
were.
Like it was like it's exciting. Like it's exciting. Like I love. Hey, Eric, what's up, brother? Like, I just love seeing, like, I love seeing it. Like, I love seeing others, like, get there, like, do good.
Mean,
like,
you guys held me the whole way. Basically, I wouldn't have been able to show this to so many people, right? When I first talked to Mike, we were talking about a Camp Hero video.
He's shoveling more humble pie out there. He's just,
it's true.
You did the work, bro. You did
true, but it's all like the path you take and the people you meet that you end up, the whole way, starting at the beginning, including you guys, but it's definitely a big part of it. So
a lot of pieces came together. But again, like let's just talk about that reel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. We found, you know, I found it, right?
Yes,
I found it, right? Technically, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you
then
were led
I
to it.
handed it to you. Now you have it, right?
Yes.
I would have never went to the lengths that you went to. And a lot of people don't know the extremes that you went to. And we won't dive into
still
it.
not done.
But yeah, right. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, it was crazy, bro. Like, it was crazy, you know. So to get what we got off of that, if it was in my hands, it probably wouldn't have happened that way. So
I think,
and we're still analyzing aspects of that for future presentation, believe it or not. I mean, we figured out within the endeavor of, you know, finding out what was on the reel, a lot more detail that goes into that and what it might actually be or how we actually could have found it. And we haven't talked extensively about that on any of the channels, I don't think. Not extensively.
No.
But it's been mentioned here and there. But yes, we're still looking at that tape in a certain sense, and we will have more information about that coming in the near future.
Yes. I haven't done an update on it, which I told everybody because of the book and everything. I was finishing it and then printing and fixing it over and over so they could print. But long story short is that I did get an update that I should tell everybody that the company rejected the job. They sent it back to me. They said the reel was unstable, which is crazy because we respooled this one onto a new plastic reel and I sent it off to a major professional company. And they kind of just like out of nowhere sent it back to me. And so that's that. It's to be expected with this kind of thing. But I did have a friend that's also, you know, on the channel sometimes, but wants to stay anonymous, give me physically a reel-to-reel machine that's in really good condition.
Yeah.
I have two reels. One's the original, one's the plastic. So between, you know, DHP, don't you have a reel, Michael?
I have one somewhere. I think it's in the closet in the way back, but I do have one, yeah.
I think the next step is probably us working with it because we're getting rejected from all these companies. This is like the fourth company I've sent it out to. So that kind of tells you something. I don't know why, but, you know, we should try it ourselves. So,
well, again, there's a lot more detail that we're omitting at the moment with the meetup that you had with those individuals who did help you get some of that information off the tape. And it's curious, and I'll just say it this way, it's very curious that there were a lot of companies that didn't want to touch this, and yet these individuals were right and ready to go. And Brian, I know there's a whole story behind this that we'll save for another time, but nonetheless, it was nothing short of arduous for Brian to get this. Now, look, I'm going to be honest with you. When I saw that tape, I thought my first thought was, oh man, this thing is done. You know what I mean? But then as Brian and I looked at it a little closer, we realized that there were plenty of inches, we'll say, that were untouched, unscathed by nature and the deterioration process. Personally, at that point in time, I would have taken the tape, but I guarantee it would still be sitting on my dresser right now.
Yeah.
Brian went that extra mile to make sure that even though it took over a year to do, I mean, he made sure he was fastidious with it, that he got this done and we could find out what was on that tape. And that's a step I think a lot of us would have struggled to do, especially in the face of certain rejection.
In my mind, I probably would have ran it under a hose to clean it up, like to get the dirt off of it, and like put it like mounted it on my wall of like shit. You know what I mean? My windowsill of interchanging stuff. You know what I mean?
To wash the roots out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
All right. So does anybody have any questions? I don't know what time we're at. Wow. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you guys, Friends with Monsters, for dropping the that is Brian's PayPal. He's fully overextended. Like, I mean, I know a lot of people are in a lot, you know, certain positions and whatever, right? But you know, he is overextended for sure in this case. So the book helps, and you know, all that good stuff.
You can read that. That should be enough to get you to go and get this book. All right. Considering how much conversation is held around that one aspect of, you know, the camp. It's all here, guys. Go and get this book.
That's one
of my mind blowing, bro. Like, it's mind blowing. And it's
I appreciate you guys so much. Everybody in chat too that I didn't get to read and say hi to, but everybody I appreciate because it really hasn't been seen by too many people yet. And this is, you know, this is a very good place. I like starting here with you guys.
Here's the thing too, guys. Understand this too. Like, he doesn't you don't have a promoter, right? Like there's nobody backing
No,
you.
it's just me.
Nobody
right.
backing you.
Nothing.
So this is it. Like our word of mouth.
I did all the editing, so just beware of some spelling errors and typos.
It's inconsequential.
400 and something pages, like done by yourself.
400, yeah.
Like, we're gonna
Hundreds.
spelling.
Yeah.
I hate that
That's what the
shit
second
when somebody
edition is
says
for.
something to me. Somebody will say something to me on YouTube, be like, "Oh, you know, I just spelled this wrong." I'm like, "Oh, God,
There's
thanks."
one spot
Yeah,
where
I apparently spelled a lot of stuff incorrectly in the titles, screens, and in the documentary. Alondra Markman had pointed this out, and I mean, there was one right in the beginning. I noticed initially. I said, "Oh, okay," but he's like, "No, it's all throughout." I mean, you know what? It's already released. I was tired a lot of the times I was editing for hours on end. So I mean, they're gonna be mistakes.
I don't
once you
think
see it,
people
and you just miss
realize,
it after a while.
like,
Yeah.
that was done. You know, that those interviews were done after a long days, not even a long day, long days. It was done in the wee hours of the night.
Yep.
3, 4,
7 hours.
Yeah, I mean, like we were.
That's a long.
There was bright lights on us, but it was pitch freaking blackout everywhere else. You know what I mean? Like it was. I remember I was just sitting there, like kind of like, oh man, like, you know, like
takes some stamina to record it that long.
Like it was late. It was late, but you worked your ass off to make that shit happen, and I was impressed, man. I was super impressed. It came to the point where I came and pulled my phone out and put it up on a stand somewhere because I was like, I want to get some of this, like, because it's like,
hell yeah,
it's
behind
history being made here. Like, it was cool.
That's cool.
I just want to address something very quickly, and then we'll move on from this. But I have had a couple comments in the comment section on the documentary, you know, asking why are there so many ads. And there's one thing I want to just bring to light right now. First of all, do you have any idea how much money, just myself, but all other parties involved spent to make this a reality in terms of a documentary? Do you also realize that we're not reimbursed unless there's a generous soul out there that during a live, or, you know, hopefully, you know, out of you know, the live production scene, they'll send us a PayPal of $10-20, whatever it's going to be. That's what we've relied on, you know, to keep things going in a lot of senses. And most of us have full-time jobs outside of this, along with families, kids, and all that other stuff. So to those people that are complaining about the ads, that's how we make our ad revenue. That's how we make our money back for the work that we put into this. And all you have to do is skip the damn thing in most cases.
Well,
so I just wanted to air that out, because it is important for people to understand that, you know, we don't have pockets that are, you know, deeper than, you know, pick a billionaire, it doesn't matter. We don't have deep pockets. But we make these things come true because they are our dreams first, and it's our passion to bring this out. I mean, again, I could be echoing and reflecting everything I'm saying into Brian's situation as well, putting this book out. A lot of time and money goes into this stuff, and to get a little something back in pennies to start with, you know, on these ad revenues is important for us to, you know, have that ability to continue to fund what we're doing. Now, I mean, for example, the book's done, the documentary's done. We're still going back to Montauk this year.
Of course.
And we're going to continue working towards other creative endeavors and revelations within this topic. This isn't the end by any means, although this is. Okay. But in general, there's other things that we can still explore that support what was going on there allegedly, and, you know, the people involved. I mean, we can still talk to some of those folks. So this isn't, you know, the finale, if you will.
Nope.
This is, we're going to keep going.
Here's another thing too. That particular video documentary is doing really well. So Google, the Google monster, comes and says, "Oh, people are watching that. Let me slap ads on it." So that doesn't help either.
That happens. Yep.
And I made sure it's a essential recommended reading. Also in the book there, I got your documentary as the only internet documentary.
Prospecting.
That's the one I recommend to watch.
Prospecting. I have it pinned at the top of the thing.
Oh, thanks.
It should be pinned at the very top of the. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't see it on my laptop, but I see it on my phone.
I see it. That's cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, so thank you, Raymond. I appreciate it. Yeah, it does help. You're right, L. You're right. So, he does look like a proud daddy, and he should. You're right.
Yes,
Bring more.
yes, indeed. I do feel like that. Thank you, Remy.
Mikey, we'll see you, bro. We're here, bro. If you need anything. All right. Anybody last final questions or any thoughts? Like Michael just said, we'll be back in Montauk this year.
Yep.
We might be doing something else too, but I'm not going. We have to do some more discussion, you and me, and somebody else first. But we might have our hands in some other things too. We always do, and I'm looking to possibly come in. We started our little mini doc too.
I was gonna mention that I am starting. Well, Mike and I began filming for a documentary on him and Bigfoot and the elementals. We started on a trip back to New York that we had taken. I think it was in October, November, something along those lines. But yeah, that's going to be a focus too going into the summer here. Putting that documentary together with Michael, and
that's going to be cool.
I have a lot of ideas that we still got to convene here because a couple things I need to discuss with him. But long story short, it's going to enrich in what we're doing already. So keep your eye out for that.
Excellent.
Yeah. I mean,
I love all the things in the works because
there's always things going on. You know what I mean? Like YouTube isn't like the end all be all. Like this isn't where it's just where we come and it's an outlet. We come to communicate with you. We come to be here with you. We come to try to connect everybody, right? But there's always something going on. I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
Like always.
Very true.
So anyway.
Awesome.
Guess,
thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it.
We'll wrap up for now and keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for these gentlemen in other places. If you haven't seen, can somebody grab the link for DHP's documentary? Can somebody grab that? Not the Montauk Enigma, the second one. I could do it.
Lost Souls.
Lost Souls of Montauk.
I could do it.
It's funny because the title is "The Time Is Now," right? But everybody's knowing this as the subtitle, "Lost Souls of Montauk." I should have just named it "Lost Souls of Montauk," but I liked, the play on events when I named it "The Time Is Now." Obviously, those who are familiar with the Montauk Project will pick that up probably pretty quickly, but everybody else will discover that later on.
Yeah. Yep. I like that. That's it. I kind of used the same phrase at the end, to hit that print button because
I put the link. I didn't write anything.
Get it done.
Thank you.
Cool. I'm glad you have it, bro. Thank you.
Excellent.
So yeah, I appreciate you guys, all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was Heidi. So if you guys haven't seen anything about it yet or anything about us yet, don't go to my channel and watch stuff on Montauk because it's just I don't know how to put shit together. It's just us walking around and I just put the footage up. Right? Brian does stuff on his channel, obviously nonstop. It's all Montauk, right? But
pretty much, yeah.
On Darkhour Paranormal, he has done the Montauk Enigma, which I thought was, amazing in the first place, and then the Lost Souls. We didn't know it was gonna come around that way, right? It was crazy how it worked out.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Very fortunate.
I'm not going to get into the specifics of how that all played out, but I mean, the chain of events that started from way outside of us, what I mean, and just came right into line to where the hell we were going already.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like,
good way to put it.
Yeah, shit. I mean, and so many things always work against us, right? I mean,
yeah. My car is
shit like
right Hero. That was
car trouble, bugs, ticks, bee stings. We don't know where we're staying. We don't have a dime in our pocket. We don't have no food. Whatever. Like, let's go.
Or we just made food in a big.
I was driving that one.
Locust flies into it.
I had a bee sting like this.
Yeah, that's like looked like Mike Tyson got you.
Oh yeah, it was bad.
It was buddy.
Yeah. A capital B sting. That's what that was.
I
all
think.
caps.
The chiggers. I think I
Oh,
escaped
chiggers,
the
that was mine.
chiggers. You guys
Yeah.
got. You guys
Yeah,
got.
the Tigers were bad, dude. That sucked for
Yeah.
weeks afterwards. That sucked.
All right, we're hopping off too. I'll call you in a little bit. Is there a code?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh,
There's Montauk 10, all caps.
Montauk
I'm
10.
gonna write it. It's for they let me make a code. It's for 10% off, but it's
That's cool.
probably helpful.
Cool. Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
very
make more
helpful.
too
Yeah.
for everybody. I just that was just
Oh,
like
there
a
it
test
is. Sorry,
that I made.
let me get rid of mine.
That was my test code,
MTK10.
but it does work. So
Okay, so here is the code. Sorry, don't read mine. Yeah, poison ivy. I'm bringing you to the truth. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for being here.
yeah.
I appreciate it.
Thank you,
so much.
everybody.
Angel
Thank
6
you.
giggling so hard.
You too, man.
Well, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. I always have a blast. You know, we shoot the shit all the time like this, but I mean, it's important to get serious once in a while and just kind of like update everyone on, you know, like when things come together, they come together, and it's a beautiful thing, right? Because there's a lot of times where we're like, something's coming, we're doing this, like some things are in the works, right? And it's like, is it? You know, these guys are just talking shit. No, like, look, here it is. You know what I mean? Like, here it is. Like, and your documentary, right? And his book just came, and like, the trip last year was amazing, and it'll be coming up again before you know it.
Yep.
That's right. Absolutely right.
Thank you all for being here. Like every last one of you guys are awesome. No, thank you. Thank you. I mean, thank you. You know.
Thank you guys.
That's what it's all about. I appreciate you. Shit. You know, there's so many things that go on in our lives and ups and downs, and it's cool to see a win. Like this is a huge win, and I hope that you guys go and check this book out. Like I really, really do. I hope you go. You know me, I wouldn't be sitting up here. You know, I wouldn't. I wouldn't if it wasn't worth it, I wouldn't say anything.
Thanks. That means a lot, man. Thank you. Especially
Forrest, friend, good to see you. Chiro, good to see you. Guys, make sure you go to Chiro Sounds. No, it's gonna be Midwest Night Watchers. That's where they're gonna be. Go to Midwest Night Watchers at 7 p.m.
Cool.
They have their weekly show. I'm not sure who their guest is tonight, but yeah. I'm not sure. No, thank you, Jane. Thank you so much. Millie, good to see you. Donating by the book. Thank you. Mogs, good to see you. Thank you, Forest Friend. Guys, support each other. Go check out each other's channels. Friends with Monsters, Prospecting, Forest Friend, Chiro. Everybody, all these people have shows. Mogi on Monster. Like, go support one another. Right?
Friends with Monsters is really close to 1,000. He needs just like 30 left. So
there you go.
If anybody just wants to help him out.
Yeah.
Because I know it's really hard when you get there. So.
It sure is, bro. Sure is. Toby, good to see you, my brother. All right, guys. I'm not going to drag out this finishing goodbyes here. Let me see if I have. Maybe I have an outro. Let's see. Let me see. Let's see. All right, we're out of here. Later, guys.
Take care, everyone.
Ciao.
Thank you again.